All right, friends, so we're going to make some print blocks and do some printmaking. So you're going to want to have your styrofoam. So I started with a piece of styrofoam like this that had some tacos on it, and I ate them and I washed it, and then I took my scissors with these bad boys, went so that I ended up with cut the edges off, so this is nice and flat. And then I drew many a sketch about what exactly I wanted to do. And as you can see, this is going to be an ode to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. May she rest in power. So I drew a couple different versions. The descent collar was really tricky, but I finally got one that I liked. And then, because this is a print, remember, friends, and here's an important thing to remember, if you're going to do words, it's going to be backwards. So what I did was I held it up to the window and traced, so that I could see it, I traced my image so that it's backwards, and I put it on my piece of styrofoam. And I traced my piece of styrofoam, the paper, to make this. Now I will admit that my pencil, boom, was a little, left some faint etches, and I wanted to make sure that it got down, that the grooves were nice and deep. So I ended up taking a little screwdriver out of my pocket knife. You could probably use, oh, I don't know, something in your house. You've got things. And so I really made sure to get down in there to get those nice and deep. All right, so you could use printer's ink, but I'm guessing most of us don't have that just lying around. So what we're going to use instead is some Crayola washable markers. Now it's important that they're washable, and I'll explain that in a second. Now one of the advantages of doing it this way as opposed to ink, if you do ink, you got to put the whole thing and you get one color. But because we're going to be using markers, we can get a couple colors. So what color should we make our dear friend Ruth's glasses? I'm gonna say red because power. So I'm gonna color in where I want the red to be, which is all these glasses. I'm gonna color. And you want to get, pretty good coating, but it's okay if, take your time on this, because it's okay if it dries, because we're going to moisten the paper that we print on here, and that will kind of reactivate the ink, because we're all using washable markers, and that ink is water soluble. And remember that anywhere that is not inked is going to be whatever color your paper is, which in my case is white. So we're going to have our nice red glasses, and then because Supreme Court justices all wear black, I'm going to use my black. I'm going to color from here all the way down, and all of this lattice work that was actually kind of a pain should, we hope, turn out white when we are all done. So I'm going to color this in. apologies if that sound is terrible for you. Now I had a little number 2 groove, because it was like number 2 styrofoam or something, I don't know, that appeared. So if you can avoid having other inking marks in your styrofoam, that'll be good. We'll see if that shows up in our print or not. And again, right, I made sure to write my hashtag descent, or to carve my hashtag descent backwards, so that when I print it on my paper, it will be forwards. So we're going to color this whole thing with black, and I want to make sure so that the details of my hashtag show up, that we get right in there, so it doesn't look like, I mean, it may end up looking like a weird spider anyway, but you know, we tried. All right. All right, here it is. So we're going to take our paper, and I have a damp cloth. It's called paper towel, and I'm just going to moisten the paper. This will help us make sure that all the ink transfers like we want it to. And you know it's good when it starts to curl like that. I'm gonna put it right in the middle. And I'm gonna really try to get all of that ink to transfer. And I'm standing up, you can't really see that because of the angle. And I'm putting all my weight onto this, and I'm sort of twisting around. You could use a spoon, a wooden spoon if you wanted. Maybe a marker would be good, the side of it, to really get it all. They make, I forget what they're called, but they make that tool. Any of you art majors might actually have that tool that you roll it back and forth. All right, and I'm gonna try to be very careful. I'm gonna slide this off. I don't want it to move. I'm gonna come on the, I flipped it over. I'm gonna try on the other side now. Try to get all that ink. I might have just moved it, we'll see. Boom, there it is. And you see we missed a little bit here, but that'll be okay. So there it is. There's my ode to our dearly departed Supreme Court Justice. #Dissent.